Boy.
Yeah, we breaking silence on the Lord, oh. So why you think we out here on the Lord for? Yeah, I'm coming through, Ja, ja, ja. Coming through, I'm coming through. Yeah, I wear the truth like a logo. So why you think I'm out here on my dolo? Yeah, I'm coming through, Ja, ja, ja. Coming through, I'm coming through.
Yo, once again, it's the We Break Silence show.
Yes.
E. Charles, Pamela Rosario, Cash Walton, Vanya.
Hey.
And we have the biggest boss that you've seen thus far.
I like it. Yeah.
Rick Ross is gonna come for you.
I'm serious. Like, he's really the only guest that came here like really suited up though. Like,
Yeah,
Suited.
Mr.
Hi.
Everybody's kind of like, I don't think Brendan had. Brendan he wears suits in all his videos, but he didn't wear a suit.
He looked
here.
real hood when he came here. He had the tats out and everything.
He was repping Hartford.
It's all good.
Hartford, I
He
like
kept talking
that.
about Hartford.
Yeah, we have Mr. Vidal Goring in the building.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Mr. V,
Yeah,
what's going on, brother?
I'm good.
Are you shy? You scared?
No, I'm not shy. Scared. This is really nice to see all this setup and
Yes.
organization and things like business.
Right.
I
Well,
like
thank
It's
you.
official.
And I was
We don't
gonna
play no
just
games
trying to
around
stay.
here.
We're trying to stay focused without putting the inputs like me to do this next. Move that around.
He already busted audit our studio.
And you know that's nice, but y'all need to do this. So
So as you guys can see, he is a businessman.
yes.
no.
Yes.
And I was gonna tell you too.
Looseness.
You were a big part of this. I said this in episode 1. I shouted out Vidal.
Yeah, he
Yep.
did.
You were a big part of this because you took me on in the bridge. I wasn't sure where I was going with my life, but you helped me with the vision.
Yes.
So when you see this, you see you, brother. I'm
Yes.
being real. And that's all jokes aside.
Facts.
for real.
Amen.
Facts.
Real talk.
That's what's up, man.
So you help with the vision, brother.
Hey, that's what I do. Tell everybody what you do, though. That's like, anybody who does not know, like just break down some of the things that you are involved in. I'm sure there are many endeavors.
I mean, like right now, like modern things that's happening right now is mostly I'm focused on branding, building companies, investing in companies. Just like how he says, like I've always seen, when I see someone, I know what they're doing, and then I always ask that question, like, where you trying to go,
Yes.
and what's stopping you from getting there?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then because I build networks and know so many people, I was like, okay, how can I connect them with this person, connect them with that person, in order for them to get to the next level?
Right.
And we run stuff like, we do sprints. So if you tell me you sow, you'll be sowing tomorrow. If you can't sow tomorrow, then
Don't waste my time.
you gotta be careful what you say around us, because we hear something like, what you do? Okay.
Right.
And then we get on the
I
phone.
actually
next
know
thing
about
you
something here.
Yeah. And then if you don't make that move the way you're saying it, then we basically like, no, okay, you're not ready yet, but then we can come in and say, okay, you need this, you need that.
Right.
And if you're that type of person that understands or really care about what you're trying to get done, you understand what we're saying, and then you get involved and you start to make those moves.
You got to take the
Right.
opportunities, right? Like when they come right away.
Because they
Right.
come fast. Sometimes they come fast. You got to be ready.
No, you're right.
So when you say we, what is like the
I've-
company? Is there a name to it?
Well, I have a brand, but I have so many friends and so many people that do different things. So I
Gotcha.
have it in my phone, like.
Right.
You
That's
have
the
a team.
connection.
So this is like my company right here. So yeah,
Right,
if I
it's
know
like your
if-
network.
yeah, if they say the wrong thing or they say something that I'm interested in, like I get clues.
Right.
I can't even explain it. Like I'll talk to someone and they'll be like, on Monday I'm trying to do this, and then by
Yeah.
Wednesday somebody's be like, I do this, so I'll be like, okay, and then I start building in my head.
Right.
So when you
gonna
say
happen
branding, is there a particular field that you're specializing in, or do you brand business, media, everything?
Yeah, so because I work at a financial company, I know when they approach a company, the way you have to be set up.
Right.
So people might have something that's popping or that's really nice, but they don't have the other part of the structure, the foundation
Okay.
set up. So when I see a company, the first thing I want to do is make them set up so that they can be invested in. Someone can say, I want to invest in them. So when they get to the next level, they grow, they'll be already set up to going to the next stage. So I know what they need to have, the ingredients they need to have to be that type of company.
That's
that
what I
they
was
can
gonna
keep
say.
going.
Okay.
So a lot of people just do things, but they don't know. Okay, but if you're gonna do that, then you need to form this. They need to make this move. They need to have this in place.
Right.
So by the time they figure out what they're doing, they already have the legal parts or the other parts that they need. That people be like, I want to invest in that.
Right.
In place. Yeah.
They've taken care of all the other, like, you know, A, B, C, D to get the end game.
Yes.
Right.
And you fill in the blanks for everybody.
Correct. I make sure they're lining up for that way. So they might not be ready for, like I tell people, you might not be ready for 2 years, but you can start now.
Right.
You know, and that's how you spread the money, because they're like, oh, I need to have $1 million. No, you don't. You need to have $1 for 1,000,000 days, or you need to have 10, and then you break it up in their mind so they can see the vision, and then you give them step by step. Some people can't see the full thing because then they'll mess it up.
Right.
What types of brands are you working with now?
I'm really focused on Charlemagne brand.
Nice.
Because, like, if you know what a mixing board looks like, there's like 48 different faders,
Right.
but they all do the same thing. But they all at different levels depending on how you make the mix. So Charlemagne's brand is at the top level. Like, his volume is turned up.
Nice.
He has a market. We've been doing this for years, so now we have all the mistakes we made, things that we learned,
Right.
and we're pushing that out. And then we have other little brands that's coming up that we're looking at, but they're involved in the Charlemagne brand, but they're just helping that. But they have their own brand. People don't know that. But they're just looking at, okay, but but I have other brands, cross-branding, lateral moves
Right.
in the brand. So
I was gonna bring up Charlemagne too. You guys started at a young age in the Bronx, in the BX. That's where you're from.
Nice.
So talk about the beginning times.
So the beginning time of Fortress was amazing because there was no hip hop on the radio.
Yeah.
When I hear hip hop all the time, I laugh. But there was none on the
Right.
radio. When we turned on the radio, it was dance music. So when me and Shaw decided to do this music thing, he was a DJ. So he's like, okay, let's do this beat. And we spent money going to the studio and came up with nothing. And and then he was like, oh, this can't be happening. So we had to figure it out. And my mom was like, go back to school and learn music. I'm like, there's a school to learn this? And she said, yes. I went and found that. And I would go to school and they would tell me about sampling. And then I would run to the Sam Ash and buy the sample. And then they used to try to sell us the cheap. No, we want that one.
Yeah.
With these specs, because they would teach us in school what we needed.
What you needed, like the right ones. You
Correct.
don't want to get this one, you want to get this one. Right.
And then I would bring it to Shaw, and then Shaw would be like, he gets addictive, so he'd be on that.
All night.
Oh yeah.
All night trying to catch it.
Yeah, so then he'd be like, yo, V, I need this. Something to sound like, all right, let me figure this out. And then we just kept doing it. And from the noise that we made it to the radio stations. People started hearing about us, and then the college students started coming to us, and we went to the radio station. The radio station played our stuff. People heard our stuff. They gave us the calls. And then from there, we were really focused on our music. So when we went into the studio, we used to go, I learned MIDI. So I went from computer into the studio. So we knew MIDI. And that's when MIDI first came out. So we were allowed, when we went to the studio, we brought the whole computer to the studio.
Oh my gosh.
And then we tracked it out. And people liked the way we worked. We worked fast.
No laptops back then.
Oh my God. Music was so much harder. I was always telling people, like, yo, these kids are so lucky now. They got programs like built into the computer and everything like that to make everything like, look, it's so simple. I'm like, you imagine how, like, I got my boy in here, James, right now. We used to have to do, what do we do, James? We had to, what was the name? Cool Edit Pro. It was some program we had to use like voice recorder or something like that and record the whole thing all in one take. It was 4 of us in a group. And we do all our verses, the hook, everything like 3 times. And if one person messed up, we had to start over again.
My goodness.
Like we had one track.
I remember the first 4 track we had. We played it. We were so happy we got in the mail. We opened it up and we put the tape in, and it was playing backwards. They'd be like, yo, it's broken. It's not working. We had no clue.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
But the thing about it is that we had no idea we were going to be on hit records. We had no idea we were going to be producing.
Doing it for fun.
We didn't have no idea. And it was for the block. And then, but we were in the house.
Wow.
All the time.
Kept you off the streets.
Trying like Shaw's addictive. So it's like he's like, I'm doing this. And you want to get better and better and better and better. And it hasn't changed. It's the same thing happening now, except it's more of, back then we were branding in a different way. But we had to form our own company. I remember when we did our first logo, and the guy was like, this logo is too complicated, and we were hard-headed. No, it's not. Really? Until we went to press our shirts up, and it was like, how much is that?
That's $400. Like,
So
oh,
you're going to
yeah.
switch that up real
Yeah,
quick.
so now we understood what he was saying, but we learned that. So now when I see, I can look at the logo and be like,
That's too much. Yeah.
Right.
It got a little bit too much detail, right?
Keep
Like,
it, yes.
go
So-
get some
Yeah.
money first, and then make that one next.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot, and then so now when I'm watching everything, I'm seeing what the kids are doing. I'm really happy that they're hustling and making
Yeah.
those moves, but they're forgetting about the other parts. Where it's like, I mean, I can probably go on the computer right now and probably publish and copyright 500 songs under my name because they never copyrighted
never did
this.
it.
And then they blow up and they be like, "Yo, that's my my son. Like, who's
Mine now.
Yeah, so that's true
They're
though.
real loose. They don't understand. It's fun for them, but they don't understand the business part
Yeah,
of
there's
it
a business aspect of
from
it.
it from there. So
That's crazy that you think about that, though. I mean, I think about it sometimes. I don't think about it all the time. How you could just go on there
Yeah,
on
you
SoundCloud,
could be rich. Yep.
and none of those kids on there, they're just throwing their music up there for free, having a good time with their boys, and none of it is copyrighted. Not even their name.
Right.
correct. So that's when someone professional wants to approach them, that's where the problem comes in. Because
Right.
if I'm going to invest money into you and you don't
How much do
own anything,
Yeah.
or you don't have anything structured, then you're not really have
yeah.
a value. So I go to somebody else who might be whack, but they have their paperwork
Everything
in
is
order.
filled out,
Everything's
yeah.
in order because that's all it is. Give me something. If you play something the radio enough times, it's gonna sound good to you. So they know the marketing part of it. That's the easy part, to keep playing
Right.
it, keep playing it so that you can hear it and like it.
Right.
I have a business question. Going back to branding, what is your take on mentorship? I hear a lot of controversies about business owners or entrepreneurs having a mentor. Some people believe that it's more competition than really trying to get ahead or trying to grow in entrepreneurship or in business ownership. What do you feel about mentoring? What is
No.
your take on that?
Yeah, mentoring is good because that's how you get better. And so you have to pass it down. You have to teach somebody because you're not going to be around forever.
Right.
So you have to show the person coming up the other things. And when you guys communicate, like there's a lot of stuff about agile now where a lot of people work together to come up with different ideas so they can go to the next. That's what the internet, that's what Instagram is doing. You can look and see that, okay, this guy has maybe a bigger company than me, but he's putting out this type of video. I want to get there. I don't know where I'm at. So you could reach out to him, or sometimes they give you clues of what they're doing. So you're able to then get that information and get better.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do. Mentoring is good.
Right. So what is like if you could come up with like a few examples of mistakes that you see people, whether it's in the music industry or people with startups, some of the mistakes that you feel like they make, copywriting not being one example, like making sure
Yeah,
that's done. What are some?
a lot of people don't start. They talk.
That's true.
That's so true.
Pretty simple.
yo,
Yeah.
you be like.
Yeah.
So that's why I make them start. Like, okay, because then you can see what they, because you could imagine anything and talk about it forever, but it's like
Yeah.
a circle, and then you get
Right.
annoyed. Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What have you done? Give me something so I can say, "Where you failed at, but you have to improve." So first, you got to stop talking. You got to just throw something out there. And then you
Right.
can look and be like, okay, I did this wrong. So you guys, like, mistakes is what you need to see. Like, mistakes is fun because you can
Yeah.
look at it and be like, oh, shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I never
that's
thought
how
about
you
that.
learn. Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah,
Correct.
Some mistakes are successful, so you're like,
Yeah.
I never thought about that, and like, oh wow, this, and then you go on down. So like I said, you run the sprints. Like when we do marketing on our page, we're running sprints. We might be checking out a font. I might be checking out a hashtag. People don't know. They looking at, oh, they go Charlamagne brand again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't know that I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
One day it'd be like, oh, I remember that first thing when they showed that. I remember that first model. I remember that thing. So.
Yeah, Josh and I talk about that all the time. Like when you keep seeing a brand all the time, even if you don't like the picture, you're gonna get familiar with that
yeah,
brand.
you remember it.
So when you want to buy something and you see that brand, you're gonna choose.
pulls you to
You're
it.
gonna choose
Right.
that
It'll
because
grab your eyes.
it's in your
It's what you
mind.
see all
Like,
the
oh,
time.
I've seen this plenty of times. I'm gonna go that one. I trust that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you're like, oh, it's not even really that hot. But
Yeah.
Right.
it's the one I
Exactly.
see all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what someone was. I remember, like, it was last week. They were like, "Oh, that Charlamagne brand. No, they got wings like the people at the airport. Like, who was gonna buy that?" And then I looked at what they were wearing, and I was like,
Is it all? Is it all?
"It's not for you. It's not for everyone." I'm
Right.
like, doesn't really matter. People are gonna buy it.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
they're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Is
That's
it
why we
all
do it.
like trends and just number and like in numbers and like things like that, or is it just like, is this your like opinion of what you think people should do? I mean, obviously, there's what I want to say. There's what you're supposed to do, like in order to get from point A to point B. But is it like a trend that you're following or something like that?
No,
for this
the
recipe?
You deal with people that have talent, so they have a talent. So you're basically marketing their talent. It may not be popular now, but it's going to be popular. So you just got to stay on that road with them. Everybody has their own lane, but when they jump and I'm going to try to do that person, then they become less valuable because they sound like that person. But if you have your own thing going on, people are not used to it yet, so that's why they can't. But you got to keep working until you get in front of the right people, and then when your time comes, you already have all your stuff done. They're gonna go back and see what you've done.
So each individual has their own path.
Yeah, I can tell you the secret with Instagram that we look at is like 20% of the people is the support in your Instagram. So if you have 300 people on your page, take 20% of that. If you see how many people is following me or like saw your video, take 20% of that. And if that number is higher than what people like, then you're good because realize that certain people looking. So don't worry about I only got 10 likes. If you only got 10 likes and you have 300 people following you, that's good.
Yeah.
If you have,
see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked that because I'd be thinking to myself.
Don't be discouraged, Pam, when you get low likes.
Discouraged. I'll be like, yo,
she wants to quit.
Yeah. I'll be ready to quit.
I'll be ready to cuss people out. I'll be like, yo,
and I forget this.
I put a video up that had like 1,000 views, but 3 likes.
What kills me?
What is that?
What kills me is Pam.
That's a problem.
When Pam deletes her photo or video. Because she doesn't have amount of... No, Pam. It's great. People seen it.
I'm like, nobody like that one's deleted.
And it'll be a great video or a great picture. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
You can't get there, Pam.
Yeah, you can't get that.
Give it time to build.
And don't delete the history because you have... That's
exactly.
The thing. If me and Shaw had history of what we've done from back in the days, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If we were Instagram back, our Instagram would be crazy because
I'm glad there was no Instagram back in the day.
Yeah, so but we had to work. We had to go to the clubs, go to the places. We had to work.
Yeah, back then you had to like market yourself for real. There was no social media.
Yeah. And when people that were in the industry found us, I mean, that was a totally new business to us. So we had to get attorneys and we had to figure out what's fair. And I remember certain deals. I remember getting a check for $98,000 in my hand, and I'd be like, "Whoa, what is this?
What now?
For what?
Do I just take this straight to the bank?"
Like, can they go to the bank? But that's for something that we was having fun with.
Yeah,
and those type of things. Like, how do they know about us, and why are they giving us all this money to do something? So we were, So I understand that.
It was like you didn't even know that what you were doing was worth that kind of money.
No,
it's crazy.
If we
knew,
was
just having fun.
Yeah, we don't. If
you knew, you probably would ask for 150.
Correct. You ask for more. But ask for more. Our lawyer was telling us don't sign that. He's like, shut up. We take that.
Right? You're talking us $98,000. Shut up. You fired, man.
And then when the industry got to the point where these guys were getting to the level where they were already up, and when you try to go to say, okay, you want to beat now, but we'll pay you after because we're popping. That messed up my vibe of the industry because we got bills to pay. We're working.
Oh yeah, of course.
You got money, pay us now, and then we do it later. But now they try to change it where it was like, no, well, we're famous, so you give us a beat, we'll pay you later because you're gonna make. No, we want to pay our bills today. So so that those type of things are happening. We helped us. So if we had a brand, So that's another thing that helps us with the brand because I can see each Charles is doing something. Our brand is involved in it at this point from A to B. You'll know that now because you're like, oh, if they have their hat on or if they have that brand on, that means V and Shaw's involved somehow with these people. I don't know what they're doing, if they're investing, if they're connecting, but I know if they're wearing the brand that they're involved with it.
Hey, the Charlemagne brand is here on the window.
Word, I would say my husband stayed with the Charlemagne hat. I know you probably seen him on Instagram with the hat. I'm like, it was for me, but okay, you can wear it too. Like he really took my
took
hat.
it?
Yeah, he took it. He's like, you're not gonna wear this. I'm like, it was for
and that's
me.
the whole that fashion part of like I don't even know how we got into that, like, but now I'm into like. I think once I figured out the seasons, like 4 seasons, okay, so and then I was like, okay, well, we come up with a couple items per every season. That allowed me to now be focused, like what we're gonna come out with next season. So the Shaw said I want all the what season is that for? And then we can now say we dropped that in spring, we dropped that, and then now we're organizing. I'm meeting people now that we could do everything now. I know we could print our own everything. So we now have that machine in place. So now we're ready to go to the next level from that.
Right.
Okay.
So talk
Oh,
a
go
little.
ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Talk
ahead.
a little bit about like, because I feel like you are good at networking. You have a good network. Like you have good connections and know people. And people coming up, like whether it's music industry, media, anything, entertainment. We're told a lot about that networking, like making sure that you're doing that. It's very important. So can you give your, I guess, 2 cents or advice on just networking and like how to go about it, what's the best way to go about it, or just your experience on building the network that you have?
That's the mentorship. So you always want to have people around you that's smarter than you, better than you, doing stuff that you're not doing. That's how you learn.
That's real talk.
You know what the problem is though, in a women like me, I do blogging. So for me, it's a women-based field, and it's like it's competition. That's why I asked that question, because the journeymen, the girls that have been around for a long time, they're not trying to help you. You know, they're like, I figured it out on my own, so you're gonna have to figure it out on your own too. And honestly, it's sad to say that's how a lot of women think. So that's why I asked the mentoring question, because it's not always roses and petals where we sing kumbaya and come up together.
You just gotta find the right women. There are women out there that do that.
Right.
You just gotta find the right
They
woman
want
right
to see you
next.
succeed.
Because even if you went and let's say Vanya was one of those type of women and you wrote about Vanya on your blog, so now you're tagging Vanya to now her fans are looking at you.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, yeah, but not everybody look at it like that. Everybody look at you as a competition, at least from
No,
my
but
experience.
even if you were competing with her, you could say something about her on your page. She's then going to see that you're talking about her on her page. Her fans will then maybe come to your page and see.
That's true.
The Beehive.
The Beehive.
So you don't have to ask them. You let them know I like what they're doing, but don't talk about I like what you're doing. So and so wrote about this and this, and that opinion, and then now you put it into your thing. So you connect them into what you're talking about, so they know that you've read her stuff and you follow her, and if they're their fan, then they'll be your fan too.
That's true. Hey.
She'll call you.
That's true. This is random, but I'm in my early 30s. Pam, Cash.
Excuse you. Okay.
Stop playing, Pam.
Speak for yourself. He's alive.
Vanya's the
Speak
baby,
for yourself.
not Pam.
I am the baby. Thank you.
At our age, what should we invest in? What should we look next for? What should we
Content.
prepare for?
Content.
is
Thank
king.
you.
If you have
Video.
yes,
Did I not just say this last week when we was riding home?
that's the next. If you have content.
I'm a genius, yo.
I have one of our brands that we're doing is called Tasius, and basically what we're doing is creating a network where we can connect other companies. So like I could take all your content that you have right now and your website, link it to Tasius, right? Take Charlemagne, take 20 other people, link it to Tasius, and then ask each one of you to give me $100 and take that money and use it for marketing and just market Tasius. And then we'll Tasius, all what is this Tasius? And when they come to Tasius, they see all of us there.
See? Content.
And they have
content is timeless.
Correct. And you
content does not have a expiration.
You have the content to people are like, okay, what's this? And they'll watch her show, and then they'll watch her, and whatever they like, they stay. Whatever they don't like, they don't.
Right.
But you get everybody to come in the same place, and you can be consistent with it, because when they look like, yo, these cats, just like I see on another show. Like I have content with you guys interviewing Shaw.
Yes.
I have all that stuff. So when we
Right.
put it all together, they be like, I saw her here before, and I'm seeing her again, and I'm sitting, and that works.
Stay in a timeline.
So you don't think age plays a factor in?
No, not anymore.
Because I've heard a lot of that too. Like the younger, the girls
Pam,
my age.
Oprah
whatever.
made it at 40. All right.
Whatever. The girls
40.
my age, in their early 20s. They think that's the right age group. Like looking at me like I'm kind of too
Yo, we're
old
right
to
on
be
time.
trying to get into the business.
Nah, we right on
see-
time.
Yeah, so people like the way you're talking is like what I like, because like no, it's not.
Right.
So it's just keep doing it, you'll see. But like I have like Stasha's 30, Coffee's in
How's
her 20s.
she doing? I
She's
miss
doing
Stash.
good.
Okay.
Coffee's in her 20s, Viade is in her teens. So I
can't believe
I
that.
have
All the
focus groups in
generations, yeah.
all three generations, so I know exactly
What's going on?
what's happening, what's going on. Is that Josh?
The champ is here.
Another person walking
The
the door.
champ is
It is a
here.
party in
Season
here.
finale, man. 60.
It's litty in here.
Episode 60, Cash.
For real. Everybody coming through.
Josh don't follow me on his Instagram.
He don't follow nobody.
He don't follow nobody.
Get him.
He don't follow nobody.
He don't
Get
follow
him.
none of us.
Put some respect on his name, Josh.
Get him, Vidal.
Respect.
He got it. So he got a new marketing. I'm watching this concept, so I'm like seeing how long before he change up. So
He don't follow none of us.
He
None
all
of
over-
us. He
he
think he
all
better
over-
than everybody.
nah. He has a plan in his head. I don't know what it is, but I'm watching it. But
Right, you watching it play out. You
yeah,
know
watch it
something
play
going
out.
on though.
So I'm gonna see how.
Should I feel special because he follows me?
No.
Yeah, you should.
Damn,
I'll tell you.
Cam.
What?
Throwing bombs
Yeah.
at me?
Every time I
Josh,
say Champ,
you
every
Josh.
week I'm like, Champ, you gonna follow me this week?
He got
No, Pam.
several thousand
No.
followers.
And then I come back, Champ, you gonna follow me this week?
And only
No,
follow
Pam.
like 4 people.
Yeah.
Hey.
Champ, you
Made
gonna
it
follow me
work.
this week?
Made it
It's
work.
a premium.
he likes-
yo,
he-
Cash
he
Walker
likes-
ain't cool
he-
enough. Yo, I got almost 2,000 followers, yo. You ain't gonna follow me back, man?
He likes some.
I'm
He
big
likes some of
too.
my content though, so he's okay for liking the content.
That's good.
Only because he's in it. That's
That's exactly why. You see, it's all about him. It's all about him.
We're gonna figure out his. We're gonna figure out his
I'm about to
strategy
steal his
soon.
phone and follow myself back.
You better not before he diss you.
That is
I'm not trying to get dissed. I'm gonna stop now. He gonna make a song about.
There's no choice in
about me.
this, Champ.
Cash say I never follow him.
Clowning this guy.
He gonna follow. He gonna
His
follow.
music's too authentic, yo.
He gonna follow. He gonna follow the money soon. Don't worry. He's gonna follow.
Oh yeah. You gonna trip over. You gonna trip into a bag soon. I know that.
Follow the money.
Shout out to Josh, man. He's a dude.
Josh.
So, are you working on anything specific right now? Any sneak peeks we could get? Things coming up?
I gotta go to my IG page. I have all the
IG.
sneak pics there. So, but we're
Yes.
working on a lot of.
We're working on a lot of things. What
Yeah.
is the IG page? I need to follow you.
Oh, Vidal Goring.
You gonna follow me back? Maybe I'm gonna be Josh.
What's up? What's up with coffee music? What's going on with that?
Well, coffee music is the main. My accountant was like, "You're spending so much money. You need to stop spending money, make money." So, coffee music became the corporation, and all the other things became the investments. So, coffee music is investing in all the different companies that we're testing out. So it became like departments.
Right.
So I open up a department, then we run a test on it, and if it works, then we'll take it to the next level. It becomes a brand, a company, and then we keep building it from there.
Are we still you still gonna do artists and things?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
That's easy stuff for
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
We could,
yeah.
Coffee Music could drop an album tomorrow if you want.
yeah.
It's not. It's just phone calls and studio and
Yeah.
music and conversations, and you can put it back. Everybody's putting music out.
Yeah.
If they could put music out, you know, we could put music.
Right.
We just don't do it yet.
Are you still like producing, involved in producing?
Me, nah.
No.
I don't produce.
No, he's the boss now. He just
Just
sits
call
in the
the
office.
shots. Just call the shots
He
now.
just sits in
He
the
just be in
office.
the suits.
Well, a lot of people are busy. Like Shaw is busy thinking about some of this other stuff.
Right.
Rich, you need somebody from the outside looking in and say, okay, you got to fix this, you got to do this. So someone that's aware of what's going on and making sure that those things are there.
Yeah.
So I just do what it's easier for me to see than to be involved. I don't need to produce because Shaw's better than me. So what's the
Right.
purpose?
Right?
So yeah, so I do what I do
you got
better
this
than
under
him.
control.
Yeah, so he has under control.
Yeah.
Like once he gets famous, then I could produce something, and then because he's already famous, and I can get my money from there.
Just for knowing him. I got
I know Shaw. Yo, Shaw, put a click on this for me. I'm good.
Right. That's hilarious.
Serious.
So, what advice can you give to the people that are trying to get into these spaces, trying to get signed, trying to get deals? What tips can you give?
I mean, just you gotta know where you want to land. You know, so I'm not a deal person
Right.
about signing to a record label.
Yeah.
Nah, make your own way.
I'm gonna have fun, be in control of your product. I'm not a contract person. I hate contracts. I like more like the only reason you do a contract is if someone wants to give you so much money that they want to make sure that not as worth your time. But if I rather do, agreements and be like, okay, you give me this, we do this, and then
Right.
keep building it up from there
You like to do that and sign checks. That's all you do.
and sign checks.
That's so funny.
It's a fun activity, I'm sure.
I like my name.
And
Funny.
part 2 of that question, for people who are trying to build a brand, what tips can you give them as well?
Yeah, you have to have an identity. Like, know what your brand is about. So when someone sees it, they identify
Right.
that brand with you.
With you.
So make sure you pick something simple, but that has a vibe to it. You gotta have something going on, and then
Yeah.
just keep going till it falls in place.
Do you feel like it's safe to venture into different fields?
Oh yeah.
Like, because I've always heard people to say, start with one thing, speak to one audience, and then from there kind of venture out. But you think it's okay to kind of...
If you have a niche, stay with your niche.
Right.
If you already have a niche, but if you don't have a niche and you're just fishing, than fish, and then
Right. See what
what
works.
bites.
What
Yes.
hooks.
See what bites. That's
Yes.
kind of where I'm at right now.
and then if it bites, then you're like, okay, can I continue doing it? But don't do anything you don't want to keep doing. Like,
I was gonna ask that. What if what bites isn't really what you're passionate about, but it's what you're good at?
yes, then that's what's gonna pay the bill.
Exactly. Trying to get these checks, Pam. That's all it's about.
But what if you don't want to do that one particular
I
thing?
mean,
That's why I should tell Josh.
you don't
write
want money.
Don't write a song that you don't want to sing forever, because that's the hit song.
Yeah.
Then you gotta
You're stuck
sing
with
that
that
song
forever.
Everywhere, right? You
You're
gotta
like,
close
oh,
out every concert with that.
what song you want? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
That's true. That's
so you
a
gotta,
good point.
yeah. So you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Right.
And you can have more than one brand. You don't have to have that one brand. You could test different brands out and see
Right. It's all about trial and error, I guess.
mistakes.
Mistakes. He said that before.
Yes, that's true. Very true.
Word.
Yeah. And you make mistakes when you're small and you have 320 followers. You make a mistake, nobody knows.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's when you have 3.2 million
Man,
that
you
you don't
can't-
want to make a
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah, you gotta learn. You
Might as
gotta,
well make them early.
yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta learn with
seriously.
those.
What do you think
followers.
about the success of Kim Kardashian's perfume line? She made $5 million in 5 minutes,
Yeah,
crazy.
that's hot.
Because she didn't.
and she used no marketing,
She used
no
no
money
marketing.
for ads. It was just an Instagram
she just used
post.
Instagram.
What do you think about that?
That's perfect.
So people are checking her Instagram that often.
What?
That's
Like, yeah.
5 million people.
How
in
much followers
5
she got,
minutes.
Pam?
Not only did they just go
I-
there, they went there, went to the website, bought and purchased it.
Yeah,
So that's
man.
how fast, that's how rapid
Yeah, but if you think about
the pace is.
like my goal is to know 100 people that have $1,000 that's sitting there that
114 million.
they don't need.
114 million. That's crazy.
So if I know 100 people in my phone, if I have 100 friends and I have $1,000 that's just sitting in their account, they don't need it because they have more money. I can get on the telephone and make $100,000 in 10 hours.
True.
So the same as she did it with a product, you can do it with an investment. Like, I need to do this. You get on the phone, you call your peoples, they cash app the money to you, you have it in your bank account right away. You move it to what you got to get, and then boom, it's out. So it's the same form as she's doing, but she has a product. But that's the future. If you can move money that fast to do
5
something,
minutes?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
haven't seen $5 million.
My struggle is
I'm
with,
27
is
years
with the
old.
pitch. How do you
Pam,
ask
stop.
people for that kind of money?
what do you mean? No,
Like, I mean, I guess they got.
can
like,
you ask me for $1? Can you ask me for $1?
I could, but I
Correct,
wouldn't.
but I'm saying, so you have to have friends you gotta change your friends. You gotta have friends.
Fact.
My friends have been my friends for life. My friends have been my friends for
Yeah,
life.
but do they have $1,000 laying around to help you?
No.
I need friends like that.
Correct. You gotta change that.
So become friends with like the Kardashians or something.
Nah.
Speaking about
Pick a different
Kardashian,
one.
I was gonna ask you this because you were gonna come around this time when Kanye was wilding out and all that stuff. Do you think he's?
No comment.
Publicity stunt or
Yes,
he's
I
really
was
crazy?
gonna ask you that.
I mean, it's all marketing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all marketing.
Yes, none of that stuff is real for me to be able to focus. I don't know. I'm not there, so to make
Right.
a comment, I'm like, it's good marketing. It could be real that they made marketing.
That was
They
all
could
to sell
flip
an
it.
album.
I mean, it's true because
Several albums.
he dropped what 5 albums since
Yeah, he
then.
produced all of them.
Produced all of them.
And
Pusha
then-
T, Tiana
yeah.
Taylor,
His wife made
Yeah.
$5 million in
I'm about
5
to say
minutes.
something.
Him and Kid Cudi.
yeah,
They
Kid
eating
Cudi
over there.
himself.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi, that one with Kid Cudi, the Nas
Yeah,
album.
yeah, I said that. So Kanye knew what he was doing. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's alright.
That was all to sell records.
Yeah,
But it
know
was
what he's
a
doing.
really exciting time.
that was what, a couple months ago, right?
It was like May-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right around when I was going to Cancun. So it was in May.
That's how fast things move. That's why they got to.
Because it's like old news now.
A lot of people forgot about
Yeah,
that.
they forgot about it.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not, I can't believe it's going to be August in a couple days.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, thank you, Vidal, for coming, brother.
Yes, man. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for coming.
Do you have any announcements or anything like that? Or are you just gonna make money?
It's gonna make money.
Tell everybody your IG again, Instagram,
IG,
Vidal
website.
Goring, VidalGoring.com, Vidal Goring IG.
websites.
And at Charlemagne Brand, make sure Charlemagne Brand. They need to follow that. That's gonna give you all the clues for everything else. That's
You might got to spell Charlemagne, man.
CHRLAMAGE.
Hey, we following him, Cash. So just
I'm
go-
not. It's not for me. It's for the listeners. I
Oh,
know
okay,
how to spell
okay.
Charlemagne.
I'll put it on the description.
Yeah.
So-
Cool.
Yes.
CHRLEMAGNE Charlemagne Brand.
Word. Thank you,
Follow
brother.
that.
All right, guys.
Interrupted me.
Thank you, V, for
the
stopping
real,
by.
That's the real Charlemagne, though.
Yes.
Real Charlemagne.
The real Charlemagne.
Not the Breakfast Club Charlemagne.
No, that's another show.
That's another show. Once again, it's the We Break Silence show. E. Charles, Pebble Rosario, Cash Walker, Vanya season finale, episode 60.
We're done. Well,
We had
incredible.
an amazing season.
Yes.
Great guests stopped by.
Yes.
It's
Absolutely
just gonna
amazing.
get better, man.
Yeah, it is, man. Yo, can I just real quick?
Yes,
I want to take
dude.
this opportunity.
This is the season finale,
take this
so whatever you gotta
opportunity.
say
I
it
just
now.
want to thank you, E, man, for bringing me into this team and bringing me on the squad. You know, Mike stopped by and everything. Mike, thank you for being, for giving me the chair.
Shots fired.
Thank you to all the listeners.
Yes,
thank you to
for
everybody.
listeners.
If you're not tired of listening to me, my podcast, the Control Chaos podcast, will be back in August. So you can go on iTunes, Apple Podcasts to do that, or SoundCloud, search Control Chaos. I love you, Pam. I love you, Vanya. Thank you guys for dealing with me and my wacky ways. And Vidal, again, thank you again. Oh yeah, at Cash Walking on everything. Follow that. I'm trying to help me get the 5,000. We out here.
I have an announcement to make as well. I
Yes, go
wanted
ahead,
to
yes, go ahead.
announce the Danbury Fashion Week will be going on this weekend. I will be hosting the show. So
Yes.
you guys check out the Instagram at Danbury Fashion Week.
I already followed them.
Buy the tickets, $25 a ticket, and we'll be in the building.
We be in the building for
We
that,
will be
right?
in the
Vanya
building for
and
that.
Watch how juggy I look.
Vanya and Cash will be doing behind the scenes interviews.
I'm gonna be looking so jiggy with other people looking mad jiggy. It's just
Yeah.
gonna look jiggy in there.
I will be in the house also, but I'll be behind the scenes. I ain't in
And
front
make
of
sure
the
y'all
camera.
follow me. Help me get to 5K too.
Yeah, let's get him to 5K. We out here.
What's up with this 5K? I know.
5K is where you
Rosario
been.
_ on all social media. Check out my website, PamelaRosario.com.
Yes.
that's it.
Vanya, you got anything?
Nah.
You don't want to get the 5K?
Follow me if you want to, but
That is you in a nutshell.
basically.
Five if you want to, but yeah.
Last but not least, make sure you follow New Villa Radio
Yes.
on all social media platforms.
Yes.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, New Villa Radio. You catch We Break Silence show, our sports show, Designated Report, Happy Hour show, Duty Calls coming this fall.
Ooh.
We got a lot going on.
Oh yeah, we got a lot.
You
We
got
got
a
a
real
lot.
radio station over here.
This is what we doing.
Right?
This is what we doing, man.
I'm about to stumble into a
Visit our
bag.
website, newvillaentertainment.com. Catch music like Josh, Tron.
Word.
We got New Villa artists up there.
Yes.
We doing it. We doing
Yes.
it. We'll be back in September, guys. Make sure to follow us. We'll give you the exact date.
Sounds good to me.
That's all we got.
All right.
And happy
Holla.
anniversary to my wife. I love you.
Yes.
Yesterday, 3 years. Yes. We're going to DR for Davidson's birthday.
Oh,
And I'm mad. I'm happy and mad about that.
Why?
Because it's expensive.
No. I'm mad because I'm happy because I'm going on vacation to
DR.
DR.
with your
But
wife.
I'm up. Yes, with my wife.
Don't forget that.
No. But I'm upset that I'm touching that island before going to Haiti.
Oh man,
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
I never went to Haiti, so I'm going to DR first before Haiti. That pisses me off. I'm sorry, no offense, Pam.
I was gonna say, what's wrong with going to DR?
There's nothing wrong. I'm just saying I didn't go to Haiti first.
Yeah.
So I'm
You
going
went
to
to
that
Haiti.
island touching DR before Haiti.
You might have to
So
change that flight situation.
I'm upset about that.
I feel you.
It's too late.
Y'all gonna make some babies. You'll be all right.
Anyway,
Baby E Charles coming soon. Look out for the announcement.
Coming soon, baby, Charles.
Baby E coming soon.
we'll see you guys, man. Holla.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Good
Peace.
night.
This is New Villa Entertainment.